All right, so in order to solve a system of equations by substitution, you are substituting one variable out of the system in one equation and replacing it with something else. And so for number one, we need a variable, either x or y, that is already solved for. And in both equation 1 and equation 2, that is not the case. And so we need to pick a variable to solve for, and you usually want to pick the one that has a coefficient of 1 or -1. And so in that case, this y would be the easiest to solve for. So I'm going to take equation 2, I'm going to solve for y. Okay, and so for 2x minus y equals 7, I need to get y by itself. And so I have to get rid of the 2x term, which leaves us with negative y equals 7 minus 2x. And then there's an invisible one here, a -1 that we need to divide the entire equation by. And so y equals -7 plus 2x. Okay, and so that's what I like to write in the first column, is the variable already solved for. Then we can take our other equation up here, and we're going to write that equation over here. So this is equation 1. And now that we have y solved for, we can replace this y with this expression. And so I'm going to rewrite this equation, 4x plus 3, y equals 9. Instead of y, write a set of parentheses instead, because we are going to replace that y with what he is equal to. So that's -7 plus 2x. All right, and so I want to get rid of that line. -7 plus 2x. And so now I have an expression here, this green expression, that only has the variable x. I just need to simplify it and solve for x. And so the first thing we have to do is distribute this 3 inside the parentheses. 3 times -7 is -21. 3 times the 2x is 6x. Now we need to combine these like terms. 4 plus 6 is 10x. And then we need to isolate the x expression. So add 21, giving us 30 on the right-hand side. Lastly, we divide by 10, and x equals 3. Now that we know what our x value is, we have this beautiful equation over here to solve for what the y value is. So we go back to this first column, -7 plus 2x, and now I can replace that x with a 3, because x equals 3. So y equals -7 plus 6, which is equal to -1. And so our final answer is 3, -1. The x is 3, y is -1. And so we write our answers as ordered pairs because that is the intersection point of these two lines. I'm going to do another example. And so again, I like to make columns. And so in this left-hand column, I need to pick an equation that I want to isolate a variable. It's going to be easiest to isolate this y. And so I'm going to put the top equation here. I'm going to put the bottom equation over here. He's the one we're substituting. Okay, and so in this first step, we need to move the 3x over, giving us negative y equals negative 3x. Divide by the negative 1, giving us y equals 3x. That's easy. So now we can substitute y with the 3x, giving us 5x plus 2y equals negative 44. And instead of y, 3x. This one's even easier to solve because when we distribute this 2, it only goes to one term. And so combine your like terms, you get 11x equals negative 44. Divide by the 11, x equals negative 4. So y equals 3x, which is negative 4. So y equals negative 12. And so our solution is negative 4, comma, negative 12. Okay. Here, we're going to have a harder time isolating a variable. But if you notice in equation 1, each term has a 2 as a factor. And so we can actually divide this entire equation by 2 and make it a simpler equation. As long as you divide every single term, that is a perfectly legal move. And so my new system looks like that. And so now, when I make my columns to solve for a variable, I'm going to pick the top equation to isolate either the x or y. Let's isolate x this time. And so x equals 2 plus y. I'm going to write this second equation, the one I have not used yet, over here. And now we are substituting x this time. And so this expression, 2 plus y, is going in right here. And so negative 2x plus 3y equals 6. And then we can put the 2 plus y right here. And then now we're ready to distribute the negative 2, giving us negative 4. Oh, it's going to be minus 2y plus 3y equals 6. And combining our like terms, negative 2 plus 3 is just 1y. And then we can add 4 to both sides, giving us y equals 10. So this time we got the y value first, but we can still plug it back in over here to get our x value. Since x equals 2 plus y, we have x equals 2 plus 10. So x equals 12, switching colors. So our solution is 12, comma, 10. Make sure you put the x as the first coordinate and the y as the second coordinate.